Once upon a time, in a perfectly normal living room, a grown adult named Jake sat down to babysit his niece. He grabbed the remote, expecting the usual chaos of kids' shows. Bright colors, high-pitched voices, maybe a rogue fart joke or two. But instead, something unexpected happened. He stumbled upon Bluey, a cartoon about a family of talking Australian dogs. Innocent enough, right? By the time the first episode ended, Jake wasn't just entertained, he was captivated and confused. Because for some strange reason, he was emotionally invested in the life of a 6-year-old blue healer, and thus began his journey of Studying Bluey, a cartoon that would quietly teach him more about parenting than any self-help book ever had. Jake thought it would be mindless background noise, perfect while he scrolled through his phone. But when the episode Hospital came on, something shifted. There was Bandit, Bluey's dad, lying on the floor as a pretend patient, being operated on with a banana by his kids. Chilli, the mom, casually meditated in the background like she wasn't surrounded by chaos. And Bluey and Bingo, well, they ran the show like tiny, adorable overlords. Jake blinked. "This isn't Peppa Pig," he muttered. This was something else. The more episodes Jake watched, the more it clicked. Bluey wasn't just for kids, it was a blueprint for mindful parenting. Bandit wasn't perfect, but he was present. He wasn't scrolling or multitasking. He was crawling on all fours, roaring like a wild beast, completely immersed in the moment. And Chilli? Calm, composed, and wise with the energy of someone who's read all the parenting blogs and meditated before sunrise. It wasn't about flashy lessons or preachy morals. Bluey was teaching by example, quietly showing how play could become the language of connection. Jake chuckled, but then reality hit him like a cold baby wipe to the face. Sure, it was easy for cartoon dogs to spend all day playing keepy-uppy, but real humans had jobs, bills, and toddlers who ate Play-Doh. Could anyone actually parent like this? But then, Jake realized the show wasn't asking anyone to be perfect. It was just asking them to show up. Fully. Even for 10 minutes. 10 silly, imaginative, no distraction minutes. And that didn't sound so impossible. The turning point came when Jake watched Sleepy Time. What started as an episode about bedtime turned into a cosmic journey through the galaxy. A baby penguin, a floating sun, and the most emotional 4 minutes of animation he'd ever seen. Jake sat there, stunned, holding back tears. He thought, how is a kids' show making me reevaluate my emotional availability? That's when it hit him. Play isn't just fun, it's healing. It's how kids communicate. And Bluey? It was modeling that better than any TED Talk or therapist could. By now, Jake wasn't just watching Bluey, he was learning from it. He started noticing the small moments, like Bandit admitting when he was tired, or Chilli gently guiding Bluey through disappointment. This wasn't a show about flawless parents. It was a show about realistic effort, playful discipline, emotional presence, and sometimes just knowing when to say, "I'm sorry." Jake realized parenting isn't about control, it's about connection. And connection, that starts with play. Jake didn't become the perfect parent overnight. He still burnt toast, still forgot picture day at school. But he did start saying yes more often, to silly games, to blanket forts, to bedtime stories read in goofy voices. And in those moments, something magical happened. His kids lit up, he laughed more, and slowly, his home started to feel a lot more like Bluey's. Because maybe, just maybe, parenting isn't about getting it right. It's about being there with your whole heart, even if you're holding a banana and pretending it's a scalpel. So, if Bluey has ever made you laugh, cry, or reevaluate your entire approach to parenting, you're not alone. Hit that like button if you believe in playful parenting. Subscribe for more curious content. And in the comments, tell us your favorite Bluey episode and what it taught you. Because sometimes the best parenting advice comes from a cartoon dog.